Hey, thanks for joining me today. You're listening to the Sit Down with Roman Gray. Anxiety. This is a feeling our current world knows all too well. Just the mention of it is typically enough to catch our attention. We all know that feeling of this knot bubbling up inside our chest. We begin to feel uneasy. I know what it's like to drown in excessive fear, nervousness, and worry. I was scared of not being enough. I was worried about public speaking and embarrassing myself if I messed up. I was scared of the dark, confrontation, and even small talk. With time, I've managed to outgrow most of those things. However, the truth still remains that I'm a sensitive person. And this whole idea of pursuing the human experience and what that means is to help give me a better sense of stillness within myself. To help with my nagging existential worries and confusion. A thing I've realized about my anxiety is it plays on my childhood fears. And my childhood fears have a tendency to metastasize and morph into new adult fears. Anxiety is going to look and feel like different things to all of us. So the best I can do right now is just share my side of the mess. Anxiety for me has taken many shapes and forms. For the most part, it tends to look like negative thoughts and short-sightedness. I begin to feel nauseous and I don't know where my place is. It's just not a great time and probably seems like I'm being dramatic to those around me. It can be triggered by a previous obstacle I've overcome, relationships, work, and a lot of other things that make me feel overwhelmed. In the end, I've realized that it's almost always me doing this to myself, allowing myself to be overcome with such distraught and sweaty emotion. I begin to feel like I can't breathe, I can't think, I can't focus because I'm too busy drowning in this thing that is overwhelming me. I had to learn to be a friend to myself. I had to learn how to be calm and wise in the midst of what it means to lose sight of what's really happening. What that looks like for me is to step away from wherever I am physically. So if it's where I live, then I go somewhere else in order to move away from where my anxiety was triggered. There's this saying I heard years ago, and it's always hit a nerve with me. That saying goes like this: you can't heal in the same environment that got you sick. So if that's a distant family or a toxic workplace, I have to take some time away from these spaces in order to get a handle on my own anxiety. I've not only found that statement to be true, but that simply going somewhere else where my anxiety didn't happen has always been helpful for me. You can't heal in the same environment that got you sick. So when I am able and do manage to find somewhere else to be, I breathe. I just breathe. Typically, that looks like laying down and closing my eyes as I'm facing the sky. And just taking in a few deep breaths in order to calm myself down before I try to resolve anything. Once I've managed to do that, I talk to myself. I let myself know what it is I'm feeling. I don't try to run away from these pains that are causing me such discomfort. I just lay there and remind myself how good it feels to breathe. How good it feels to just be. Telling myself, hey, you're okay right now. It's okay to go what you're going through. don't feel bad about feeling bad. Once I'm done with that, I think back to my childhood. Not only my childhood, but the things that have happened, good and bad. Things that make me happy, good memories, influential experiences. What this does for me is bring me back to myself. It helps calm me down, enough so where I can properly deal with the anxiety that's happening. It brings me to the present moment, enough where I can realize what's going on around me. Realizing the small things like the way my clothes feel against my body, the sounds I hear around me. It gets me to a place where I no longer feel like the world is sitting on my chest. I finally get to a place where I realize I'm going to be totally fine. I have a handle on this now. Not everything going on inside my head is happening to me right now. I got this. In the end, this is a slow burn. It's a very long process, this thing that we call life. And all the things we try to figure out and overcome. So I'm not hard on myself if I didn't find the answers today or even this year. I make sure to not run away from myself, as that'll only come back in different forms until I deal with it. This is all part of what it means to be human, and I'm here for it.